Now, as many parts of the country are once again gripped by very hot weather, amber heat health alerts are in force across the Midlands, East Anglia, London and the southeast of England. The alerts mean there could be significant impact on the health service because of people affected by all the heat. Meanwhile, the body, which keeps an eye on the UK's drought preparedness, says England is now suffering from nationally significant water shortages. Well, Phil Mackey is in Worcestershire for us, one of the areas under an amber heat health alert. Hi there, Phil.
Yeah, Clive, it's officially 31 degrees here at the moment, but that's a temperature taken in the shade. Believe me, out in the sun, it's a lot hotter than that. And as you said, this is one of the areas subject to the amber health alert. It's subject to a drought as well. It's experiencing its fourth heat wave of the summer. That's having an impact not just on people, but on animals as well.
It's so hot that these dairy cows are being kept inside in the shade.
It's lovely, if you're sat by a pool with a cold beer, but when you're trying to work in it, it's tricky for the staff and the guys, and it's hard on the girls as well, the cows. The main problem for us is the lack of rain, really, especially in this area. We just aren't getting the grass growth, which is a real worry, and it's a big worry for what we're going to do over winter.
At Bennett's farm, there isn't enough grass to feed the cattle. That affects milk yields, and they're having to supplement their diet with feed that's usually reserved for winter.
Everything you can see here was completely underwater until 6 months ago because of the heavy floods suffered by the River Team in this case. The reason it looks green now is they've had to irrigate it. There's been so little rain, but look here, this shows you just how dusty and dry it has become.
There are already restrictions on water usage in some areas, and river and reservoir levels are so low, the Environment Agency says shortages are nationally significant. The extended dry spell is causing other problems around the country, like this huge grass fire in Dorset, which started on Friday and is still being damped down today. The warm, sunny weather is welcome too, especially for those on school holidays. At Aztec Adventure, the Smith and Brill families were taking advantage of the morning session at the aqua park, but being wary too about overexposure.
We ladder up before we go and just leave it time to soak in, and then enjoy the sun.
Just make sure they're hydrated, make sure they've got plenty of water, and try and keep some sun cream on them, keep them out of the sun, ironically, but yeah.
But also enjoy it.
Yeah, absolutely.
If it's too hot outside, spare a thought for those whose jobs keep them indoors. It was 35 degrees when Francesco was getting ready for service, but when the restaurant's full, it will get even hotter.
In a kitchen like this, where ovens get up to 340 degrees, cookers always on, especially on a busy day, can get up to 40, 45 degrees in this kitchen.
And how hard is that to work in?
Very hard, especially when we're dealing with 250, 300 people. It can be a lot of pressure and a lot of exhaustion.
Back at Bennett's farm, is it still worth being a dairy farmer after a succession of floods and heat waves?
Certainly, we are starting to question it. I think a lot of farmers, and again with the political wind that seems to be blowing against us every way we turn at the moment, it certainly makes it very hard.
But there was one happy surprise. A new calf arrived unexpectedly, but had to be quickly rescued from the heat.
Well, if you look at the River Severn behind me, it's about as low as it gets here, but it's still within a normal range. But nearly half of all rivers in England now are below that normal range, and that's beginning to cause problem, not least for the farmers, as we just saw in that piece I just did. But there is advice out there for people trying to conserve water, or at least not to waste it, is to not run your tap for too long. For instance, when you're shaving or brushing your teeth, check for leaky loos. That's a big waste of water, but just conserve it, think about it, and not waste it, because things aren't going to get much better much quicker. We're in for a few days of this very warm weather, particularly in England and Wales, but looking at the forecast a little bit further afield, there doesn't seem to be any meaningful rain for at least into next week, and so this is going to be replicated, and the problems with the drought and the heat are likely to continue. Clive.
Sure. All right, Phil, thank you for that. Phil Mackey there live near Worcester.